guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Alex with junkNdisorderly, and I have another video for y'all. So I just wanted to make a quick video about the types of items that I like to purchase at thrift stores for reselling, and some of the items that I don't like to buy anymore for resale. I do apologize, guys. I think I did like 3 videos today, and I'm sick at home with the flu, so just forgive me if there's a lot of pauses or cutouts or editing during this video, because I'm having to pause and cough and drink some water, and my voice is sounding a little nasally, so I do apologize. So let's just get into it. But anyway, I will go ahead and start with items that I don't pick up anymore, and there's always an exception to the rule of items that I don't purchase. I won't go as far as saying I will never purchase these items ever again, but if I see something that's a good deal, or if I see something that's unique, or if I see something maybe that an influencer wore, then most certainly I will look it up and see if it's worth my time listing and selling it. But I don't go out seeking to purchase only these items. I know some resellers, they have a curated closet and only buy American Eagle, or only buy Johnny Was, or only buy certain brands or a certain style, and I actually like to steer away from that, because I don't want to get too curated where I'm only having to pick up a certain style or certain items. I just buy, honestly, whatever I can get my hands on, whatever can sell for me, because I'm in the business of making money, honestly. So some of the items or some of the brands that I'm not purchasing anymore is going to be Free People and Anthropologie. Free People because I have never been able to sell it as good as other people. Yes, they have some cute items. They are, I honestly think, overpriced for what the brand is, and it's not even good quality. Half the time it's just like a polyester blend. So, and I want to buy like quality items, but I will pick up Free People if it's a unique piece, if it's something a celebrity wore by chance. But yeah, I'm not going to be picking up every Free People item that I come across anymore, just because I do come across a lot of Free People, but 9 times out of 10, I'm not picking it up. And it's the same with Anthropologie. There's a lot of Anthropologie brands out there, and more than likely, I will not pick up Anthropologie anymore, unless, like I said, it's like unique, it's like silk or cashmere or wool, maybe it's like full embroidered, something along those lines where it's unique, or like a great quality item, something along those lines. Next brands on this list that I wanted to mention were going to be Torrid and J. Crew. So I used to purchase a lot of J. Crew and a lot of Torrid. Occasionally my J. Crew will sell, but I mean, if I picked up 5 Torrid pieces, only 1 out of the 5 would sell, and just the same with J. Crew. So I'm not going to be picking up those anymore, unless, like I said, there's always an exception to the rule. When I come across those brands in the store, I don't typically pick them up. And the next couple of items, or the next couple of brands, are going to be American Eagle and Madewell. Madewell, their jeans used to sell really good, but as time went on, it did become oversaturated, just like I mentioned in the beginning of the video. I will still pick up Madewell handbags. Their handbags still do pretty good, and if it's like a new with tag jeans, I might look into buying those jeans, and I might purchase the shoes depending on the style. If it's sandals, I probably won't pick up sandals or heels, but maybe the boots. So it just depends with Madewell, but for the majority, I won't pick it up anymore. And American Eagle, the only American Eagle I've ever heard people talk about were either the plus sizes or the jeans. I have picked up quite a few American Eagle jeans, but I've never been able to sell them, for $20 or $25 like most people have said. In my area, I can't get them cheap enough to where the profit makes sense for me. My jeans in my area are like $8 to $10. So it's not profitable for me. But if you can find American Eagle jeans at the bins, or even the Madewell jeans at the bins, I would say try it out to see if you can sell it. But for me, since jeans are quite expensive, I just can't seem to sell jeans at all. And that was bringing me to the next thing that I don't like to pick up are jeans. The only jeans that have actually sold well for me are the vintage jeans, vintage Guess jeans and vintage Levi's. Those consistently sell for me anywhere between like the $30 and $45 range. So those I will pick up. But like basic regular, I think I've actually sold Rag and Bone jeans also for around that price, but I haven't picked up Rag and Bone in a while, so I'm not sure their jeans, at least how they do. But yeah, jeans, I skim through them. If I see anything vintage or anything, you know, out of the ordinary, I will get. But other than that, I will stay away from jeans. Another couple of items that I don't like to purchase are t-shirts, tank tops, and skirts. So t-shirts and tank tops just don't sell for a whole lot because they typically in the store they're lower price, especially with the tank top. So I don't even look through the tank tops anymore. In my previous video I did a come thrift with me, and there was a few SoulCycle tank tops and an Athleta tank top in there, and I think I did grab it and put it in my cart. But after, when I was sorting through, I did some comps real quick and they just weren't worth it for me. And the price, I think they had them marked at $6.99. So I didn't want to take any chance of getting them for $6.99, possibly selling them for $25 or even cheaper for best offer. Probably they would end up selling around $15. So I just didn't want to get them, and because the profit margins again were not going to be good for me. And also those Athleta and SoulCycle tank tops were oversaturated. There was a lot on the market, and that brings me to my final thing that I won't buy are oversaturated items. Whenever you're checking comps, especially on eBay, I don't think Poshmark shows this, but on eBay they show you how many are listed of that item or similar items and how many have sold. So you really want to pay attention with those. Will give you your final decision if you're in the store trying to figure out if I should purchase it or not, because if there are 210 listed and only 5 of them sold, you know, that's not going to be a very good profit or sell-through rate, because it's oversaturated. That's basically what it's telling you. So like I mentioned, those items on my list, there's an exception, you know, to Free People and Anthro and a couple of other brands I don't pick up anymore. But I just wanted to give y'all some insight or some advice on those types of items. And on the other side, I do have some items that I do purchase or that I am looking for when I'm going thrifting. So whenever I go thrifting, I look for unique items, right? I'm looking for the stitching, contrasting stitching. I'm looking for the material. What type of material is it? If it's embroidered, if it has patches, you know, things like that. Something that makes it stand out, that's unique. Because anyone can go into Uniqlo and buy a graphic t-shirt. But if it's like maybe a vintage graphic shirt, you know, then that will make it stand out. Like I have this vintage Freddy Krueger shirt. I think this one was, this Freddy Krueger shirt is not of the original Freddy Krueger, A Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's from the remake that I think they did like in 2007, somewhere around there. So I guess it's technically not vintage because vintage is from 20 years or older. But so something like this would I would be most likely looking for, just because the vintage t-shirt market is really good. It's always been good, right? And so people are looking for the unique vintage items that are hard to find, and they don't want the replicas from like Walmart or Target. They want the actual single They want the actual single stitch vintage items. So I actually purchased this one on Depop because I was never able to find like a vintage a vintage horror shirt, right? I didn't want to pay $300 for one, so I ended up finding this one on Depop. It was pretty cheap. Well, I think it was like 30 or 40 bucks, but I'm like a big horror buff person. I typically only watch horror movies or horror TV shows, so I'm always looking for, you know, like Scream shirts, Jason, Freddy Krueger, things like that. I really do like horror, so but anyway, unique items like this is what I'm looking for. Band shirts do good. I know I mentioned t-shirts that I don't purchase, but it just depends on the shirt. If it's like a Harley Davidson shirt, more than likely I'm not going to purchase it, because there was a time when everyone was purchasing Harley Davidson, and I just don't think that it sells like a lot of people say it does. So I'm purchasing like leather, anything that's like a good quality leather piece that's not peeling. If it's leather and peeling, then it's probably not good leather, right? Lambskin, quilted leather, you know, pig leather maybe, cashmere, silk, wool, alpaca, things like that that have those types of materials I'm always looking at or looking for, just because I think with those types of materials, I don't think brands really matters as much as the style and the material does. So always check the style and the material, because more than likely someone will still purchase it even if they don't know what the brand is. But I'm still gonna be purchasing the high-end brands, you know, like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Chanel, Cartier, if I ever come across it, you know, things like that. I'm always on the lookout for YSL. You know, I'm still gonna be purchasing those items, but also with those higher end brands, they don't typically sell really fast. So I know it's exciting finding those higher end brands, but just whenever you purchase it, just remember that it takes a specific buyer who's looking for that specific high-end brand wanting to buy at that price. And I have actually sold, I have sold Chanel boots, a Gucci, I think actually a couple of Gucci items, and a Louis Vuitton, and I sold a Balenciaga bag, and some YSL, Fendi. I used to find Fendi all the time. So whenever I purchase these items, whenever I first purchased these higher end designers, I was like super excited, right? I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I found this. But those items did take longer to sell. You know, just be careful whenever you're purchasing, you know, the designer items, because there's a lot of fakes out there, and you know, sometimes it's hard to tell. I'm still picking up Everlane, Rag & Bone, and Johnny Was. I don't find all of those brands that often. I found a couple of Johnny, I think in my whole thrifting, I found like 2 Johnny Was pieces, maybe 3, but one was retail arbitrage. And the other one was, I don't even think the other one was embroidered, so it didn't even sell that good, and I have one currently, but that one I still think does pretty good. Everlane pieces, even though those don't retail for a whole lot, their items are really good quality, so people still search for those. So maybe not like the basics t-shirts, or unless if you come across, you know, like 5 basic shirts all in the same size, then it might be good to get those and you can bundle them together. But the Everlane purses, shoes, jeans, I still look for those. I don't find them, like I said, a whole lot, but when I do, they always typically sell for really good. And the same with Rag & Bone. They have like really good quality items. I just don't tend to find them a lot, but I will always pick those brands up unless unless it's something that's not doing good. And then the last thing that I do typically buy are vintage items. I do sell on Etsy, like hard goods. I don't think I've posted any clothing on there, but the thing with vintage is you've got to make sure that it is actually trendy, like a trendy item that people are searching for, like flare jeans or bootcut jeans, low-rise jeans, or graphic t-shirts, single stitch t-shirts, vintage flannels. Like this one I picked up at a garage sale for $1, and it is a vintage one. I can't remember what the brand is, but it's like from the 90s or something. I know these were back, these were becoming really popular maybe like a year or so ago. I don't know if they're still on trend, but I still like this one anyway. But yeah, whenever you're looking for vintage items, just make sure you're looking for the trendy pieces, things that are in style. You know, don't go purchasing something that's vintage just because it's vintage, or you know, and that's with anything, right? Don't just go to the thrift store purchasing. They're like super outdated and out of style. So you always want to be searching what the trendiest pieces are, what's trending, what is everyone wearing. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope y'all found it informative. And if y'all have any questions, leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. And I guess I'll see y'all in the next